I'm doing my part.
I'm doing my part.
Are you? Join the mobile infantry and save the world. Service guarantees citizenship.
Ashes of the Singularity 2 is a massive RTS where we can command some vast fighting forces and battle across the solar system in single or multiplayer. Today, I have been given very early access to Ashes of the Singularity 2 and the ability to show you lovely people at home. So I do need to say a massive thank you to Stardock for giving me access to this pre-alpha build of the game, and also for sponsoring this video. If you like the look of Ashes of the Singularity 2, please use our link down in the description below and head over to Steam where you can wishlist the game now. I've got no information on when this game will be released at all. As I said, we are playing with a very early pre-alpha build. Let's dive in and take a look. What is in this pre-alpha build? What can we actually look at today? Well, so far there is one playable faction, that is the United Earth Forces. This is the brand new faction coming with Ashes of the Singularity 2. If you draw your mind back, or if you know anything about Ashes of the Singularity 1, you'll know the other two factions, the Post-Human Coalition, the PHC, and the Substrate. In Ashes 1, they are waging a war of galactic dominion for the fate of basically reality, I suppose. The Post-Human Coalition are humans that have transcended digitally beyond the realms of their bodies, and they're able to manage vast armies across giant worlds that's providing them with an ever-growing galactic empire. The Substrate are rogue AIs that think humanity will bring doom to the galaxy, and they're trying to stop the Post-Human Coalition. In Ashes 2, we are going back to Earth, back to the solar system, back to the crater world, and we're actually finding out that regular humans still exist on Earth. We've got infantry, we've got tanks, we've got aircraft, and we are going to be defending our home to the very last from those silly digital post-humans, basically Elon Musk uploading himself to the cloud and then ruling over the galaxy, and then of course ChatGPT gone rogue. But right now we've just got the UEF to play with. There is a button for campaign on the main menu, so I'm assuming we're going to get a campaign for Ashes of the Singularity 2. But right now we can only play in skirmish map mode on both single player and multiplayer. Skirmishes have regions with control points that you need to capture and a home base of the enemies that you need to destroy. There are currently 7 pre-built maps in single player and the ability to generate custom maps. There are also 2 pre-built multiplayer maps. There's a full streaming economy, a technology tree to unlock advanced units, orbitals, and better production boosts, a variety of orbitals ranging from some temporary scouting of areas to ones that let us drop units off behind enemy lines. At the moment, we can play against up to 7 other AI. And for today's game, we are definitely going to play on a generated map, a map I have never seen before. I've been playing quite a bit with the pre-built maps. I'm going to face off against 2 other AI. Technically, they'll be fighting each other, but they'll also be fighting me for dominance. So this should be kind of a challenging game, actually. We start the game with our home base, which comes equipped with some flak turrets and some ground turrets, so we can fight either aircraft or ground forces that may come and attack us in at least small numbers, and 1 unit of Pathfinders. They've got a very slight radar ability that is ever so slightly larger than their vision, and then this is our starting zone. As I mentioned earlier, our primary mission is to destroy all enemy bases, all headquarters, basically all of the buildings like this. We have 4 resources. Durantium, which is pretty much metal, and this is used to build basically everything. We then got Ellerite, which we need for the advanced armory building, the research lab, the mortar emplacement, the radar tower, and a host of our best units like aircraft that can actually do damage need more of that Ellerite. So Ellerite is really important to find early on. We then got research. We can boost this by building additional research labs, though that does require Ellerite. And last on the right, we have logistics. This determines how many units we can have out. At the moment, our logistics is only 30 and our usage is 1, but by building lots of additional supply depots, which shouldn't take very long at all, we can massively boost these numbers and possibly end up with literally thousands of units in this battle. Down on the bottom left, we've got a mini-map, which is basically showing us a little bit less information in some ways than we can see on the strategic view here. Looking at the strategic view lets us see the different areas under our control and also how they are networked. Okay, I have no idea about this map whatsoever, so I'm just going to start exploring, I think, forwards and right. Currently the game is paused. To unpause it, to do anything I need to actually unpause it. Let's start by also building a barracks and then a couple of Durantium extractors to give us a small boost to Durantium production. Unlocking the barracks will allow me to recruit rifle squads. They are pretty weak, basically. They're strong against infantry, but overall pretty darn weak. However, they are possible to recruit with only a barracks. After the barracks, I think I'm going to grab probably the motor pool. Yeah, that will allow us to get some tanks. Other regions start off controlled by neutrals, and neutrals have hostile forces that we must first destroy. They are despicably not that neutral. Bringing my units towards this building in the center of the region allows me to capture it, and then as long as it's networked back to my headquarters, it will be able to produce things, either resources, if I've got things like a Durantium deposit there, which I should build on straight away, or actually build items from the motor pool or the barracks. We're starting to rake in a reasonably good supply of Durantium here. Oh, and I've got my first research point. The research tree is currently split into 3 different technology categories. Assault, which allows us to unlock lots of new units. Importantly, our aircraft. Aircraft are amazing, assuming the enemy haven't built up sufficient air defenses, in which case, yeah, then they suck. Then we've got containment, which currently is mostly not implemented. But the first point here allows us to drop a turret from orbit using an orbital drop turret action. Later on, we can do garrison protocol to do an infantry drop and possibly an air support drop with air patrol. But some of the more interesting technologies like the Redoubt, which authorizes the construction of the Redoubt Obliterator Cannon, devastating long-range artillery, that unfortunately is not available yet in this pre-alpha build. On the Dominion side of the tree, this basically improves our resource production. So improved extraction early on in the game, I think that could definitely be worth it. While I push up to the north, I'm going to build a new army at home using the Assemble Army button. A couple of Leopards, a Pathfinder, and a Tridon, which is our anti-aircraft tank. The Leopard is basically the main battle vehicle. It's a 4th gen main battle tank with composite armor. We can assemble all of that at home and then select where the spawn point should be. I'm feeling like I should assemble up here and then kind of move left. I also do need to think about adding some flak batteries down to defend our home region in case the enemy starts sending in aircraft. Oh, here is our Ellerite, so it's just to the left of our capital. That's fine. It's taken me a little bit longer to get it, but we'll be all right. There are some enemy fighters flying over us. We have only just unlocked the airfield. We don't have access yet to air superiority to get the Thunderbolt F-47s. I'll need those. First, we need some Tellarite. First, we need some Ellerite, so let's put down some extractors. And of course, never stop advancing. And there is red. So both AIs have now built aircraft and are scouting our forward positions. This is not great. I'm definitely feeling like I'm falling behind the enemy, and we've made contact with some ground forces. Those are infantry. Let's engage and wipe them out. I'm also going to throw up a couple of radar towers right next to the front. I think that would be a really good idea. Oh, maybe not there. Okay, so I'm seeing a lot of green right next to us. I definitely am dying for a research lab at the moment, so let's try and throw up a couple of research labs. I've increased my logistics. When did I do that? I don't even know. I must have put a supply depot down. Oh, I did it over here. Quick, let's do another one. Okay, so we're engaging here. That is artillery raining down on us. Okay, not good, not good, not good. I've sent army number 1 here to engage and also auto build new troops. The additional Leopards and Pathfinders are streaming forwards right now to that front line where we are getting hammered, but we're hammering back. The hammering continues. Green have entirely enveloped us there, though. Nasty. Let's push forward on 2 fronts as well, but they've had the same idea. Green have just started pushing us from the northern part here. Okay. I can't forget about doing things like building additional armies. I'll wipe these folks out first. What are you doing? Oh, we're out of Durantium. We're out of Durantium. Ruh-roh. On my left flank, I don't have any armies here, so I'm just going to try and fortify the border. Hopefully just a line of turrets will dissuade the other AI from attacking while I deal with green. Are those bombers? Oh god, they've got bombers and gunships. Oh, they're so far ahead of us. What I need here is additional tridons to be able to strike down the enemy. You know what couldn't hurt is an Orion or two, but I think I prefer close air support. Let's grab close air support. So I've now unlocked the Hammer Su-75, and I want to build up an Aviation Legion. A couple of Thunderbolt F-47s, and then a host of Hammers should be a great rapid response force. Yes, my resources are low, but sharp. I didn't even notice they've invaded. Oh god, what is this? This is gunships down south. We are under attack. I don't have enough turrets. I built a couple of flak batteries, but I didn't actually build enough to deal with this air superiority that I'm now facing. Let's see. I want to be able to drop an air turret down maybe. Or in fact, overlapping turrets on the borders might just do it. That might be good enough. If this video is getting you interested in Ashes of the Singularity 2 and you'd like to play Ashes 1, there's actually a Steam sale on right now for Stardock all the way up until January the 5th. You can get up to 90% off Sins of a Solar Empire 2, Ashes of the Singularity number 1, that's Escalation, Galactic Civilizations 4, and a host of their other games. I put the link down in the description below if you want to go and check out that fantastic sale with some amazing deals. Okay, I've fluffed up our defenses there with a host of turrets, and I brought back the Thunderbolt Hammer Wing. We're negative on Durantium right now, though. Not so good. Rapid Response Force, respond rapidly, please. Okay, so red are definitely on the west there, and they are attacking and pushing into us. We've got lots of turrets up. Not sure it's enough, because they can kind of just walk through. But this is why I built and designed the Rapid Response Force, to deal with situations like this. Also, regions cannot be lost if we still have defensive turrets in the region, so no one can take control of this region from us whilst we still have those turrets there, so it's relatively safe. We are taking massive losses in the north here. I actually think Legion number 1 should pull back. Yeah, they have fire superiority here. They've got artillery on us. This is going very, very badly. Everybody pull back here. We're having to pump out tanks right now to replace those losses. Nasty. We can now build mortar emplacements as well thanks to our Ellerite. Let's throw some of those down to rain death and destruction on red and green. Enough mortars and they're all dead, I'm pretty sure. I mean, artillery is how we'll win this battle. A rolling barrage of artillery. Welcome to my Somme. Plus with aircraft. Okay, those fighters in the sky need to be taken out. And I've actually got enough to build some more things. Let's increase our numbers. Stormbreakers. That is the artillery I didn't know I needed. Yeah, 5 of those. A couple of Orions. These are long-range anti-tank missile platforms. Just lots. Just give me lots, actually, game. We're currently holding off red and green at the same time. Oh no, red is sending a beeline into our west. We have our Maginot Wall here on the left side, but we've got a juicy center that they're now exploiting. I'm going to bring the second army back to deal with this. The air wing is going to regroup with the first army here because we are so close to taking out green. They're just on the edge. A couple of Stormbreakers and some Orions, and I swear we'd have this. We've also unlocked bombing runs. Let's do it. Let's bomb. I can now use Deep Strike to throw some squads in behind enemy lines and just be a nuisance. For example, boom, squads of Deep Struck. Now it's time to attack. Let's bring some air superiority support in. Grab some additional tridents there. Oh, and we stole it. What a cheeky steal. Right, quickly get down flak battery. Burning resources, though, to do this. This is not great. You know, we could have captured that region over there. Looking at the strategic map mode, let's disengage, move west. If we can knock this segment out here, that's going to be a little bit more production. There's basically no defenses here. Then I can jump back and defend the center whilst adding more turrets. On the left side, this gain we made, it looks like we might lose it soon. I put some turrets at the edge of that region, which should be helpful. Oh, let's move over. Let's move over. They've started with anti-air, though. One thing to bear in mind, if we can take this region and then the next region, and maybe there's one more along here, we can cut off this part of red from supply, and then they'll have no electricity. They won't get any production there. They won't get anything, basically. I can now build mortars that should be in range of the enemy base. Let's do this. Also throwing up a radar tower. I'll just build a line of mortars until we've got them. You know what? Actually, full push. Full push. I want everyone to push on green's base. If we can wipe green out That's one less thing to deal with. Oh, good God, they pushed in here. I need a bunch of fighters, and I need them now. Yeah, fighters here, please, to defend. Bombing run there. Deep strike squads behind. Oh, ho, ho, but I've also unlocked my very first Titan. Strong against vehicles and structures. This heavy combat mech and some explosive cannons. Let's take on the enemy with it. One mech versus a whole bunch of tanks. I think we're in with a good chance of winning that. The mortar strategy is working. We're pushing deeper and deeper into green. You know what? Let's grab some more Cavaliers. So Cavaliers are better than the regular rifle squad. These bad boys are actually good against vehicles. Let's confirm. I don't know, 5 of those. I'm pretty sure I put down... Yes, here it is. I put down a forward base so we can get vehicles, thanks to the motor pool, infantry thanks to the barracks, and what else am I putting down? A research lab and a supply depot. Yeah, it seems pretty reasonable. This should enable us to overwhelm them. Yeah, and there we go. The artillery here are coming in absolutely clutch. I might even cancel the last couple of these. I can't see that they'll be needed. Oh, we did it. We did it. I've taken out green. That is beautiful. Let's conglomerate all of green's old territories. Om nom nom. I'll have to be quick, actually, because I think red might take them if we're not careful. We're settling into some pretty heavy fighting. The lines are getting very much entrenched. I don't quite have access to the drop turret ability yet. Let's grab that one. I might as well, because that can drop a turret down for me here. I can also bring in, let me see, air support to deal with all of that, and a bombing run somewhere. Then why don't we deep strike down here where there is nothing? And yes, we can steal the enemy base. Amazing. So our troops are quite different to the PHC or the substrate. We've got actual infantry that come out here onto the field. I built an infantry army up here, 20 cavalier squads and 5 rifle squads, and we're going to march them to kill something. Right, let's march them up this way. They're not particularly effective. They're meat bags with a gun. Yeah, that's about as effective as you would expect for meat bags with a gun. Oh no, my Titans are getting damaged. Let's pull you back. How are we doing across the front? Okay, we're kind of getting somewhere up north. No, not my Titan, please. No! Oh, they're very expensive. It's fine. No one's going to expect a quick march in the middle of the night. You know what we could do? We could add even more Cavaliers. What if we had 40 squads of Cavaliers and 10 squads of Riflemen? We would be nigh unstoppable to anything except, you know, artillery that would blow us apart instantly. And aircraft with their bombing. Yeah, but both of those would be bad. All right, so I actually just won. It wasn't the might of the armored divisions. It wasn't the flying of the aircraft. It was the humble mobile infantry. You know, a heck of a lot of squads of them. And I just marched them into the enemy base, not actually knowing it was the enemy base. And they deleted it while I was busy dealing with things up to the north. I actually have no footage of that because we did it so effectively. I wasn't even watching. I just clicked on like a random spot, not knowing it was the enemy base. They went off and killed it. Okay, Ashes 2. Don't forget, if you like the look of this game, please use our link down in the description below to go and wishlist this on Steam. I am very excited about the fact that they have included infantry with one of the factions finally. Ashes 1, I think, was a really fun game. You might have heard of this game. If you don't even play many RTSs, you probably heard of this as a benchmark test. That is because it was one of the very first games that ran with, I'm going to say DirectX 12, I want to say. And this meant the original was very efficiently utilizing modern multi-core CPUs and then also GPUs, and showcasing its massive unit count really allowed you to test different setups for PCs and the like. But it's also a fun game. So far with this pre-alpha build, I've really enjoyed what I've seen. I do like the look of this. I can't wait to get my hands on the rest of that fleshed out tech tree and go up against other factions and be able to play the campaign when it is added in.